Okay, listen up. We know that the US loves their guns, but do you know why they can't change their laws? To learn why they can't change their gun laws, we got to understand their gun culture. Here is what you need to know about the US gun culture in 4 minutes or less. The worst mass shooting in the United States has once again raised questions about gun ownership and whether there should be tougher controls. According to a 2017 survey, about 40% of Americans say they own a gun or live in a household with one. The US has the highest rate of murder or manslaughter by firearm and is the highest in the developing world. There were more than 11,000 deaths as a result of murder or manslaughter involving a firearm just last year. Now, while it is difficult to know exactly how many guns civilians own around the world, by every estimate, the US, with around 270 million population, is far out in front. How do US gun deaths break down? There has been more than 90 mass shootings in the US since 1982. Now this is according to the investigative magazine Mother Jones. The overall number of people killed in mass shootings each year represents only a tiny percentage of the total number. There were nearly twice as many suicides involving firearms last year as there were murders involving guns, and the rate has been increasing in recent years. Suicide by firearm accounts to almost half of all suicides in the US, according to the CDC. Las Vegas attack was the worst in recent US history, and the 3 shootings with the highest number of casualties have all happened within the past decade. Let's learn more about the killers. How old were the shooters? The average age of attackers in 91 recorded US mass shootings is 34. Paddock, the shooter in Las Vegas, is one of the 3 killers aged over 60. The others are William Baker, 66, who killed 5 people in Illinois in 2001, and Kurt Myers, 64, who killed 5 people in New York in 2013. The youngest killer is just 11 years old, Andrew Douglas Golden, who ambushed students and teachers as they left Westside Middle School in Arkansas in 1998. How much do guns cost in the US? Now, for those in a country where guns are not widely owned, it can surprise you to discover that guns are relatively cheap to be bought in the US. Handguns, which were reportedly among Paddock's arsenal discovered in his hotel room, can cost from as little as $200. That just comes to about 1,000 ringgit, as much as a Chromebook laptop, for example. Given that 23 weapons were found at the hotel and a further 19 found at his home, Paddock may have spent more than 70,000 US dollars or around 280,000 ringgit on weapons and accessories such as tripods, scopes, ammunition and cartridges. So this is a policy issue. Who supports gun control and who doesn't? Data from pollster Gallup shows that US public opinion on banning of handguns has changed dramatically over the past 6 decades. Some controls are widely supported by people across the political divide, such as restricting the sale of guns to people who are mentally ill or people who are on watch lists. But the National Rifle Association, or the NRA, campaigns against all forms of gun control in the US and argues that more guns can make the country safer. It is among the most powerful special interest lobby groups in the country, with a substantial budget to influence members of Congress on gun policy. The US will continuously see mass shooting until the public rally against their policymakers and demand for change. That's the only way mass shootings can stop in the US. And just like many other policy decisions around the world, if the public takes no interest, then the issue will continue to be the same. The problem here is that the public must take interest. You're watching Viva.